Welcome to FBB Forum. If you like this content, please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to the FBB Forum YouTube and Instagram pages. I'm very pleased to welcome the stunning IFBB pro athlete Natalie Miller to the podcast. Natalie had a very successful Friday the 13th a couple days ago at the NPC Nationals with the overall win in the women's bodybuilding division and a win in Class A of women's physique. This resulted in Natalie earning double pro cards at Nationals, and she looked phenomenal. Stay tuned to find out where she will compete next and maybe make her pro debut. But it's great to have you here, Natalie. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. So my first few questions are about how you got started in bodybuilding and how did you get involved? Did you have an athletic or a sports background?
Yeah, I played sports, oh gosh, since I was 4 years old, just
Really?
every sport. Soccer, basketball, track, volleyball, everything. High school was more basketball, softball, competitively. And then pretty much after that, I went to the gym some and, whatever, but I always had that competitive drive, but I just never found it until bodybuilding.
That's very cool. How long you been doing bodybuilding?
It's probably going on eight years. 2016. Yeah, I started in the women's bikini division,
Okay.
and then went into figure, and then found my home in women's physique.
That's awesome. Yeah. Now in terms of getting started in bodybuilding, who kind of convinced you to do your first contest?
It wasn't a certain anybody. I saw a friend do it, and she did her first bikini. So I kind of had an outside view of it, and I thought it really intrigued me, and also I wanted a goal. I wanted to change, and I knew that would do it for me. So I just wanted to try it. And yeah, her and I kind of, competed together, and it was really fun.
That's awesome. Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And was it kind of nice though to ditch the heels later and
Oh my gosh, yes. I am terrible. It was bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a hard one for me. I was like a baby giraffe, just
Oh,
up there, but I tried.
that seems like it would be really hard to deal with the heels and you're flexing while you're in the heels and it just be hard
It
to
is really
do.
hard. Yeah, it was really hard for me. Anyways. But yeah, the posing was the hard part for me, for them, for bikini and figure and the heels for sure.
Yeah. As a fan, I really like women's physique because I like the fact that you get to do your routine and it's a lot more flexibility and more creativity too, because
Oh
you get to
yeah.
do the routine.
I love that. I love not wearing heels, and I love the whole, routine. Yeah.
That's very cool. That's awesome. Yeah. No, I think you made the right move. It helped you get your pro card, so that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew pretty early on that women's physique was something I wanted to aim for when I was in bikini. So it
Yeah.
just took a while. Yeah.
Yeah. You just had to grow your physique too
Mm-hmm.
and grow into it. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was curious, do you have a fitness role model that you like to look up to?
Well, I mean, I think for a lot of people it was Dana and Bailey when I started. Uh,
Hmm.
I saw her YouTube, all that, thought she was pretty cool. Um, but I mean, that sort of evolved. And um, once I got into it a little bit, like Shanique Grant, her physique, that was structure, her muscle bellies, everything about her, I just loved. And that's sort of evolved into Andrea Shaw, and it's always evolving, I feel like. But there's
It
a lot of
is.
good ones.
Yeah, there is. And it Dana Lynn Bailey is probably the number one person mentioned on the podcast because
I'm sure.
she's so inspiring to so many people and
I mean, because of her, I mean, I noticed, it brought attention. And then once I was in it, she got out of it. But, then I was looking at Shanique or Natalia or people like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Shanique and Natalia are really great, but
Hmm.
DLB, she's the standard bearer, I think,
You bet. Yeah.
Yeah, she's awesome. And it's cool that she's still involved in bodybuilding and
Yeah.
still active with her
Yeah. I still
social
follow her.
media.
She's great.
Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah. Um, I would love to see her compete again. I mean, need to see her do like a big comeback, but I don't know
Yeah.
if she wants to do that.
That's always the question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Now I was curious, was it a little nerve-wracking for you to get up on stage in the bikini for the first time, or do you get nervous now up on stage?
Funny. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that because, yeah, it was the first time, but it was fine. Like once you're up there, it just like I shined. Like it was like wonderful, like meant to be. And then something happened along the way. Um, Once I got into women's physique, I went to my first national show last year and just sort of just imploded a little. Just the nerves got to me, a
Really?
little shaky. Yeah. Um, so that was a huge obstacle I had to overcome for this national show this year.
Really? Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Huh.
Yeah. A little bit of, I don't know, stage fright, nerves. I just had to really work on mindset and get myself right.
I was curious, was it tough for you to do the women's bodybuilding poses on kind of short notice, or?
You know what? It was, yeah, I mean, it was short notice, but it was so fun. It was so fun. I love it. I love the lat spread. Love, yeah, side chest. It was, I don't know, I felt like it suited me a little bit. So it was
Hmm,
fun.
nice. Yeah, very cool. That's awesome. Yeah, that we were talking a little bit about women's bodybuilding. There were so few women that only six, I think, that actually enrolled for it or signed up for it. So there was just one weight class. So you were like standing next to Brittany Diamond, who was like this Hulk, and it was it
Right.
was it was kind of like a little cognitive dissonance there.
Yeah, it was kind of wild. Yeah. Because I mean, I was 119. So yeah, I'm 5'1". So it was a little, yeah, quite the difference. Yeah, I could imagine the different body types up there. It was pretty spectacular.
But you had a great balance and good conditioning too. So yeah, definitely you look definitely awesome up there. So
Thank you. Yeah, it
yeah,
was fun.
that's awesome. Yeah. And that's the first time I can remember nationals having just one weight class for women's bodybuilding. But I could have just, like I said, probably because there was so few ladies that
Hmm.
participated.
I know, gosh, I don't know. Maybe last year it might have been the same. Um, but to be honest, I hadn't really paid attention. I was always focused on women's physique. So
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I know there's certainly not a lot, most of the time, unfortunately, but yeah.
But so many of the physique ladies grow into bodybuilding too, as pros. So I think there's still a good pipeline for bodybuilding for
Oh
sure.
yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing at nationals. I know it can be maybe frustrating for some people, but the crossover, but they need it with so
Hmm.
few competitors. So yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. It's definitely needed that crossover, I think. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, so as I mentioned in the intro, you had a big day this past Friday. You got two pro cards, and you got your overall women's bodybuilding, and then you won your class A in women's physique. So were you surprised by these wins, or were you kind of shocked about it, or did you kind of feel confident you might win?
um the physique one was more of a confidence, more that, I mean, you don't go into any, I feel like, knowing you're gonna just, I mean, for me anyways, I wasn't sure, but I was confident. um
Hmm.
and you never know. But that, I was more confident in the physique, but I also knew there would be a lot of competitors too, so I knew it'd be tough, but I was confident I could win my class and get my pro card there. The bodybuilding one, now that one was a little out of left field. the funnest though, but it was definitely a little bit of a surprise. Yeah.
Yeah, were you the smallest competitor in women's bodybuilding?
You know what? I don't think I was. I don't think I was. I think there was another women's physique. She might have been a little smaller than me. I mean, she was if she was women's physique. But yeah, because like I said, we did have a little bit of crossover. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but the ones who were strictly bodybuilding, for sure, I was the smallest. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Mhm.
I talked a little bit with Haley Brake, who won the overall for women's
Right.
physique, and she said it was a little bit cost prohibitive for her to try to do women's bodybuilding also because it was $375 per
Yeah.
division they entered. So, but no, I think it's awesome that you managed to get the pro cards from both. It was really good.
Right. I mean, I thought, why not? I mean, because you don't know what's going to happen. Let's have double the chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a little expensive. I'm, lucky enough I was able to do that. So yeah.
But I think it's a good strategy too,
Yeah. And I
Mhm.
mean, we didn't even think about it until probably a week or so before. And
Really?
yeah, my coach was like, do a lat spread, that, and he's like, yeah, let's go for it. So we did.
Wow. Did you have to practice those bodybuilding poses a lot though, just to kind of get so you knew them, on stage and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I practiced the lat spreads a lot, and they became my favorite pose
Hmm.
of
Oh
all
yeah.
the poses.
Oh nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we forgot about, we were doing the women's physique side chest instead of the women's bodybuilding side chest, and we totally spaced that one.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Okay.
but that night before, I was just going over my poses, and I'm like, it like clicked in my head, and I was like, yep, remember that. Remember to do the different side chest and close your fists, and so there was a lot going on in my brain for a
Oh, I
little.
bet. Yeah, you probably had to kind of repeat some of that
Yeah.
stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, because they were right. I mean, I would get off stage, run back, get off stage, run back, and then I was like, is this women's physique or is this bodybuilding? So
Oh,
it kind of messed with you a little bit, but I got them right, so it worked out.
that'd be tough too, because you're depleted and you're thirsty
Yeah,
and
no, you're
just all that.
foggy. It's like I told you, it's just a whirlwind. Like they're, the expediters are like, go here, go there, and I'm just like, yes, yes, okay. And then next, I'm out on the stage, just like, okay, like looking at the other girls. All right, I'm with women's physique now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The
But because of that crossover too, like that was the confusing part too, because we were like, we were in bodybuilding, they were in physique, and then we're like, oh my gosh, it was fun.
that's awesome. That's very cool. Yeah. I guess you kept the same suit for both, probably, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
cool. Yeah.
definitely.
You have
Yeah,
to like
that would have been
change the
wild.
suit. Yeah, that glue in and
The
everything. Yeah.
glue would have been a nightmare. Yeah.
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 Oh man. Now, what was your experience like backstage? Was there kind of like a strong iron sisterhood? I've heard from a few ladies that it was pretty strong back there, but and everybody got along pretty good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're just shooting the shit, having a nice time back there. I mean, pre-judging's a little more serious, and kind of everybody's a little more in their zone.
Hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. It's all fun. Yeah, no, it's pretty sisterly, I'd say.
No
The ones
scrap.
I've experienced anyways. So yeah.
That's good. Yeah. No
Hmm.
scrapping though.
No,
No.
just
Oh, okay.
scrapping.
Well,
Yeah. There's still time, I guess, but no.
yeah, it'd be like UFC back there. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a little wild.
Yeah, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, no, everybody's super fun. It was a good time.
Good. That's very good. Now, what was this your first national qualifier? And I was curious, which amateur show did you win to get to the nationals this year?
This was my second. Last year I did the Pittsburgh Masters,
Oh, cool.
which was in July of the last year, so 2023.
Okay.
And 2 weeks before that, the qualifier I got to that was, what was it? The Battle of Texas.
Oh yeah,
And
Battle of Texas.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a good show.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. So I did that one 2 weeks before Pittsburgh Nationals, and then went to Pittsburgh. And like I was telling you, I didn't give my best presentation with nerves and everything going on
Yeah.
there. It just wasn't my time. But
Okay.
yeah, I hadn't been on stage for over a year.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah. So this was the
Did
first time in over a year.
did you have to do a qualifier this year to get to nationals?
No, I had to have one in 2023.
Oh, okay.
It was
Yeah.
still, I barely made the cut, but I made it. So,
Oh, you did. Oh,
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Good. Yeah, very cool.
yeah.
And how did you place at those shows? Or the pro qualifier at Pittsburgh last year, I should say.
I don't even know how I didn't do well.
Mm.
It was, yeah, my presentation was so poor.
Mm.
It just, yeah, I wasn't sure. There were so many girls too. Like I wasn't even in first call outs. So yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
wow. Was that
So
for North Americans?
not North Americans. Gary Uditz, Pittsburgh. Oh gosh, I forgot the exact name of it.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, definitely. I know which one.
yep.
Okay,
That
that's cool.
one's in the summer in July. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good show too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't do it. I didn't do it this last year. It was the whole other year before.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, I had a long time between. I felt like getting
Yeah.
stage. Yeah.
That's great though. It gave you plenty of time to prepare and get ready
Hmm.
for the
Yeah.
for nationals, which is great. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we did a lot. We did a lot of improving in the year, so it really got me there. It just wasn't my time then, and I felt like everything about this competition was my time.
That's terrific. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you like the expediters and the tanning and the makeup and
Oh,
everything was
they're
good?
good. Yeah. I mean, Texas puts on good shows. The Battle Up Productions, all the, everybody yeah, everybody who was there, Pro Tan, the Expediters, everybody just fantastic. They do a great job. I've experienced them a few times, and then, I've experienced other shows too, a couple other shows, and it's a big difference. So they do great.
That's basically you said in
I
Houston, so
do.
you live in Texas, so that's kind of convenient for you.
Yeah, I mean, in Houston, Dallas, Austin, there's great shows. Mhm.
Yeah. How far is it from Houston to Dallas?
Several, about 4 hours.
Mm,
Yeah,
not too bad though. At least you could
not
drive
bad.
there and not have to fly and stuff.
Yeah, that was what was perfect.
Hmm.
Got there the day before, the afternoon before, and yeah, it was easy. Like I said, everything just went nice and easy, so it was good.
That's terrific. That's really cool. Yeah, we're good
Hmm.
for you too.
It did.
Now, do you know where you might like to make your pro debut, or do you want to compete in 2025 or take the year off, do you think?
I would like, from what we were talking about, I would like to compete in 2025, maybe on the latter end or
Mm.
in the summer, maybe. But I don't know. I'm just gonna follow his plan, see what he thinks. And I know there's some great shows. I think they just came out with the pro shows today. I was
Oh
told.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have the calendar up on ifbbpro.com.
nice.
I think. Yeah. Um, that's cool. No, I hope they can do the a show next year, but I understand taking a year off too to kind of to prepare for the pro stage. It's like a
Yeah. Yeah,
different
it's a
ball
big
game.
deal. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It's a whole other level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, no, that's very cool. I mean, just thinking about pro past nationals winners, the nationals winners have generally done quite well, so I think you have great potential for doing really
Yeah,
well in the pros.
I hope so. Yeah. That's why I was kind of like, take some time to recover and, build a little more, but maybe we don't have to take a ton of time, you know? We can
Hmm.
we can maybe do 2025, so that might be an option.
We have a good show in Tampa,
I
town.
do know. I do know. I pay strong attention to that one. So
Uh-huh.
that would be great.
That's a really good show too. So yeah.
I know my world has just opened up. I'm like so excited for
That's
Tampa.
awesome.
There's good ones.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of good ones for sure. Now in terms of, do you know which division you would prefer to do now that you've done both?
And that's another good question because I mean, like I said, I'm still trying to wrap my head around bodybuilding because, was not prepared in my mind to be a pro women's bodybuilder, but I absolutely love the posing. I love it so much. So I guess it just depends on like just how I need to grow or what I need to do, what I'm comfortable with as far as that goes. But I also love women's physique. It's from day one. That's always been my number one, my go-to, and I'll always love it. So I guess I'm just gonna follow coach's plan and see where we fit.
That's
But
great.
I'm good with either.
That's terrific. Yeah, that's terrific. I think. Um, yeah, I personally I see you more in physique. I think that you look, yeah, you just kind of fit that criteria a little bit better. But
Mm-hmm.
I think I think it might be worth trying both, and you could try both. I mean, at different shows, you couldn't do it at
Sure.
the same show, but
Yeah. That's what's great. I mean, now I have the option of it's kind of crazy. So yeah, but I know what you mean. I feel like I am a little more suited for women's physique.
hmm
And I have a feeling that's what I'm leaning into a little bit, but we're just gonna, I don't know, maybe pull an Ashley Jones or something and one day.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, who knows what the future will hold, but I'm open to it.
Like I said, you got to deal with those Hulks like Brittany Diamond, So, yeah.
I know.
And she's a strong woman competitor too. So
That's
she's
awesome.
got a huge
No, I
amount of
knew that
size.
when I saw her backstage. I'm like, she's a strong woman for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
she's so
Power
pretty
lifter.
too. She's so pretty for being that big, I think.
I know. She's great. Yeah. She carries it very well.
She does, yeah, she does. And so I was curious, did you get any feedback from the nationals judges in terms of where you need to improve your physique or your presentation?
I haven't yet. I haven't
No?
quite received it yet, but yeah, just waiting on that. And my coach talked to some of the judges and you know, just like he said, I don't have to get super big or, be this mass monster to compete. I can really just hone in and sharpen things and really, really build that shape, you know, really define that and hone in on just the little particulars and specifics. And yeah.
That's terrific. Yeah, it was Sandy Williamson
Mm-hmm.
managing that show? So I mean, you can't
Yeah, it
get
was
better.
Sandy and Tyler. Yeah.
Oh
Really
yeah, they're
good
both
there.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are probably two of the best for getting
Mm-hmm.
feedback because they're kind of probably some of those popular judges and judges that probably shape the criteria in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm looking forward to hearing back from Sandy and yeah, take that information and run with it.
Yeah. I actually just saw something about a new division that NPC is starting called Fit Model, which I thought
I
was kind
saw
of
that
cool.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Um,
interesting.
and I've seen something about it being kind of like an exhibition kind of thing, but now it sounds like they're really going to make it like a
They're
real
really going to do it.
accredited thing. Yeah, which is interesting. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, the more eyes and more people, could be a good thing.
yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
More
definitely.
accessible.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely. I think so
Because I
too.
know, our divisions are very difficult. um, you know, so and take time. So I understand having division, that division, it makes sense.
I understand too. Yeah, and I think it's worth a try to
It
see
is.
see
Yeah.
how it goes. Yeah. So I know you've only had your pro card for a few days here, but is there any advice you can provide to ladies who are seeking to earn their pro card? And I know it takes a lot of hard work and dedication, but any other advice?
Just don't give up, you know, don't, don't ever give up. It's, last year after what happened on stage with me, it was a disaster. And I could have threw in the towel and said, that's it, this isn't for me. But if you wake up every day and this is in your heart and this is what you want to do, just keep going. You're going to have bad days. You're going to have tough days, but just keep pushing. Don't give up. You might not have placed at nationals how you want, but if this is what you love and you in your life and what you want to do, just keep going. Yeah.
That's good advice. Yeah, that's very cool. And in terms of what happened last year, I mean, would you mind saying, was it just like posing got messed up or?
Yeah, I mean, just my nerves. I was shaky. I was just
Mm,
just a mess up there. Yeah, it was
mm,
just um I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like a natural have ever been like on stage a ton or a natural performer, but
yeah.
yeah, it was just yeah, so it's something I have to really get my mind around, get right. Um,
Mm,
you know,
sure.
yeah, it's not something that just was like snap of the fingers easy for me, natural
Hmm.
performer.
Yeah.
But at nationals this time I felt like I got my groove back and we're back. So
Yeah.
we're good. But it's just you have something bad happen on stage or life, and you just don't let it don't let it define you. Don't let that be it. And
Mhm.
I remember thinking, it was devastating because I expected to do very well, um,
Yeah.
even last year. So yeah, you put in all that work and you just yeah, it doesn't go your way, but just keep going.
Yeah. I think that's probably a good learning and growing moment for you too, so
Yeah, there was a lot
um,
of I had a lot of growing to do anyways as far as my physique, and
mhm.
yeah, it was just a lot of fixing my health too, just getting everything. I made sure to get my blood work, very on top of that, get
Mm.
stuff checked, and just try to do it the best way possible. And this prep, I mean, it was fantastic. So
Good. Yeah, it went really
yeah.
well. That's great. Yeah. That's awesome. Very good. I was curious, what do you think is like your best muscle group and what do you think needs the most improvement?
Oh man, I guess my chest. I do like my side chest. I like the pose there. I like that side shot. As far as I would say my legs, my hamstrings and glutes need the most work for sure.
Oh,
They
yeah.
always have.
Uh-huh.
They've definitely got a ton better, but there's a lot of room to grow. They need to catch up to my back a little more.
Oh,
Get my back
yeah.
a little better. Because I peel out so hard on the top and then it's just ooh, takes so long on the bottom. But
Oh, I got you. I understand. Yeah.
yeah, so I would say my upper half is doing pretty well in some parts, and then those legs get those wheels going.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
cool. Yeah. More leg day.
yeah, more.
More, yeah, more hobbling around like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's cool though. Yeah, I understand. Now I was curious, are you working with a prep coach now?
I have my coach J Martinez. He is with Cobra Fitness.
Oh, okay. I'm just writing that down. Cool, cool.
Yep, out of
Oh, cool.
Houston here,
How
and
long have you worked with him?
we work together. I've moved overseas and throughout the country over the last 10 years. So like we worked together for a couple of years, then I moved for a handful of years and came back 2 years ago, 2.5. Started working with him again. But this last year we tried something new. For about a year, we trained together. So like 3 days a week we're together. And I have a training partner too. She's a pro. And we just meet up 3 days a week, do back, do legs. That's been the game changer for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Help motivate you and motivate each other.
yeah, so he's all encompassing. He takes care of my nutrition, dials me in, workouts. I mean, every little bit. So
Great.
yeah, no stone unturned. He's there, and I just that one-on-one time with him, training him, pushing me on my legs, on my back. It's what's made the difference for sure.
That's terrific. That's really good. That's good.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough that he's here and that, we can do that,
Yeah, I get to see him in person that way too, which is great. And train together. That's awesome. Yeah. And I was curious, do you have a posing coach too?
He's my posing coach. He's everything.
Oh, yeah.
So,
right. Yeah. Very cool. That's awesome.
I mean, he taught me the lat spreads the week before, and I felt like it turned out okay. So yeah. He's my posing coach, but that's something in the future, I might seek out some of the pros. I know there's some great posers out there. As far as routines go, and just really just dialing that in too, for sure.
Yeah, like Christina Mendoza and Sharonica Hinton.
Yeah, I definitely
really
follow her. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they're really good posing coaches, I think. So
yep. So yeah, someone like that, I can definitely use their expertise.
Do you kind of choreograph your own finals routine now?
I did for this one, but in the future, I mean, we'll see. But as far as the mandatories, my coach did all that, and
great.
Yeah. So as far as the routine, that was all me, but it could have been a lot better, and but we got through it, so it was good.
I didn't get to see any of the video yet, or not much of the video, but because I was working on Friday, so unfortunately I missed but I might go back and get the recordings later, so
yeah,
so I can see the routine.
Yeah, I've yet to watch all of them. Yeah, I'm still waiting on like the real video, but we'll see.
Yeah,
that comes out. But yeah, I got shots of different clips, and certain parts look good, and then certain parts you're like, oh man. But it's good.
Did Gilco get shots of you? Because that guy does a really good job. Yeah, I'll have to look that up because yeah,
I got a few good shots from that. Like buys and tries posted, they post their really cool ones on their site. So yeah, that was surreal to see.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. I like Gilco is amazing because the detail is so good, and
they're beautiful,
high quality video and pictures and stuff. And yeah, he's pretty amazing. He has that kind of fancy gimbal camera, just and gets like the different perspectives. It's pretty cool. I like what he does.
Very cool. Yeah. So I'm just waiting on that. So get the real good high definition stuff. But yeah, I've watched some videos and seen some things, but it's fun watching.
That's very cool. Now I was curious, what would you say is the most challenging aspect of prep for you?
Ooh. Probably, I mean, nutrition, it gets long, I guess you could say, after a while it does. I don't think there's a single part, there's some days the workouts are hard, some days the nutrition's hard, some days, you're tired, you're this or that. But for me, doing this long enough now, I got my nutrition figured out. I got, consistency figured out. It just, it's just like, let's get to it, already, because it does get long after a while. But
yeah,
I say different days or different challenges.
Okay. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. I just think that being the tired and foggy and just hungry, I think those three would be tough for me, I think.
Yeah, especially those last few weeks are just like, yeah, it's foggy.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man. Um, and well, I'm going to ask you about work later, but I just had one more question in this category. But I was curious, what would you say, good advice for ladies who are looking for a good coach?
I would say do your research, find someone who is knowledgeable, who has a lot of experience. Look up their Instagram, their resume of clients that has some years under their belt. And you know, I've had a lot of coaches since I've been a kid throughout my life, all, good and bad. You learn from all of them. But I would say, just make sure they're a good person. They care about you as a person, not
Mm,
just the athlete. Care about your health. They're having you get your blood work done. They're caring about, that type of stuff.
yeah.
I know that some of that stuff's more things you find out while you're in prep, but and I've learned some things the hard way with other coaches before, but definitely learned. But yeah, just do your best to do your research and just try to find a good solid person, you know.
And one thing you mentioned getting to see Jay in person, but I wonder, do you think that's a big advantage to be able to see your coach in person like that versus
I
all
do.
online?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've had both and it's oh gosh, it was a game changer. It's huge for me. I mean, personally, just as far as the training goes, and the push, it's changed everything for me. So
Mm,
that's a big deal. I mean, it's possible and you can get good coaching done and, the nutrition side of things, but them seeing you in person is definitely helpful.
mhm. It helps being in a big city like that too, like where there's pretty good bodybuilding community, I think, too. And
Yeah, there is.
yeah.
Yeah, we hop around to different gyms or, there's really good bodybuilders here and good gyms and good people and yeah, we have a good time.
I was curious, have you ever met Asha Hadley that's there in Houston?
No, no, I haven't.
Oh yeah, she's was in bodybuilding, but she's retired now. She had some health issues that were kind of outside of bodybuilding, but she's still in good shape. But I just think when I think about Houston, I think about her because she was definitely one of the top ladies in bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding, and then was at the Olympia a couple times too. But
Oh wow. No,
yeah.
I'll have to check on that.
Oh, she's awesome. Yeah, she's a
Yeah,
really nice person too. So yeah.
right. I mean, as far as Houston goes, I mean, I know like Sarah Vagas is in Dallas, I mean,
Yeah,
there's a lot in Texas, but and then Houston's huge. So it's not like we're just like all going to the same, place or
that's
anything
true.
like that. So, which I wish we were, but yeah, it's definitely I have my little crew and we just kind of we stick together and push each other and I think that's important if you can find because I've been on my own before,
Mhm.
trained on my own, and then I've had I have my coach and my training partner and just it gives you that energy, accountability, excitement, guidance. It's all encompassing. So
Yeah,
for me it's important.
I think that makes sense. It's kind of like a game changer, I think. And yeah, I think, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
That's cool though.
yeah.
Um, now I'm going to ask you about work. So do you have a full-time job outside of bodybuilding?
I don't actually. I have kind of a unique situation. We lived in Africa recently, and we just moved back. And so my husband works in the oil field, so we move every couple years.
Oh,
So
you do? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah. So I recently decided when we were in Africa that this is what I wanted to focus on. I couldn't work there, so I decided to put my focus into this. And I'm lucky enough to not have to, you know, work at it's a blessing. So I get to do that.
Yeah.
Focus on this. This was my priority. Get my pro card and I have a husband who supports that and is it's pretty great. So I have a pretty good setup right now.
That's cool. Where did you live in Africa? That's kind of unusual.
Ghana. So on the west side of Africa. Yep.
Oh yeah. Were you
Mhm.
still able to find a good gym and
Oh
still?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was surprising. It was a great community. Yep.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
I found a coach over there and we're still good friends to this day. And he is so special to me. That community was huge in my development.
Hmm.
Great, great bodybuilding community, great genetics. I mean, it's fantastic over there. So yeah,
Nice.
we're always trying to work on getting some of them over here. You know, they're really good physique.
That's terrific. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a great community. It was a lot of fun over there.
How about in terms of women in bodybuilding? Was there any kind of like a macho culture kind of thing, or was
You
it
know,
shifted?
it's evolving. It's evolving.
Yeah. Um,
Um, there was several of us, Ghanaian women were there, a few who competed,
mm,
who were into it, and more were getting into it. But yeah, it's primarily a man
mm,
sport, you know, so it's still that over there. But
yeah.
there's a few, and um, those ladies were great too, you know. So yeah, it's evolving,
That's
but
great. That's
still not still there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, that's still developing country and stuff too.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, but that's why I said I was surprised that I was able to even, you know, find the people, I found a crew too to train with, and they were awesome. So,
that's
and
great.
that's how I grew my physique into women's physique, was over in Africa.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Wow, that's so cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
What a unique experience. That's really neat that you got to do that.
It was
Yeah.
we were there 3 years. So,
Oh wow. Yeah. That sounds like my stepsister. She lived in Madagascar for a chunk of her childhood,
oh wow.
it was kind of interesting hearing her
Yeah.
stories about living there and stuff. It's really
Oh, I bet.
back in the 60s, I think. So, but yeah, it's good. Yeah, pretty interesting. So,
Yeah. Yeah. It changed my life. So it was great.
wow, that's awesome. Yeah. Now, I was curious, does your husband do bodybuilding too? I was curious.
He
Yeah.
has. When we were in Africa, we trained together, and then we came over. Once we had moved back, we were moving back to the States. We did the Dallas Europa show,
Okay. Yeah.
and I think it was 2021 or 22. It was 3 years ago, I think. But yeah, we did it together, and yeah, he's competed a couple times.
Great. That's awesome. Yeah.
Hmm. So he knows what it is, and so that's been great too.
Well, I bet he's super proud of you too to get the
Yeah,
programs.
I
Yeah.
mean, gosh, yeah, he's been great.
That's terrific. That's awesome. Now I'm curious, are your parents still alive?
Yes, yeah,
And are they
yep,
supportive of your bodybuilding efforts and your siblings too, if you have siblings?
yeah. They're supportive. I don't think they understand. I guess, as I mean, they haven't been to anything, or my husband's side of the family. They come to some things, and they're very supportive. So they're on social media, and I have a very small family. I just have a brother and my two parents. And yeah, they're a little older. They don't have social media, and they just, but yeah, they're supportive. They call and, see how it's going, and want to see pictures and videos and all this stuff. But yeah, it's definitely new to yeah, you can tell it's wrapping their head around it too. Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. I have a 19-year-old daughter, but I thought about, like, I don't know if I
Yeah.
want my daughter up there on the bikini and stage in front of all these
I
people,
know.
strangers.
It's kind of an awkward, it's interesting with your parents sometimes. You're like, yeah, I've thought about it. But
Um,
I let them ask and whatever they want, or not ask, or you know what I mean. It's perfectly fine. I understand the like, oh, that's interesting perspective.
yeah, be like, and they're like, why aren't you eating?
Hmm.
Gotta
Yeah,
eat, like,
yeah. At least they understand that. They're very supportive in that.
okay.
They get it. They get it. But it's still definitely every time I come home, can you eat? Or, it's like, what are we cooking? What are we doing? This, but luckily I'm going home for the holidays. They live in Colorado.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I grew up. So we're eating, so it'll be good.
That'll be good.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then get to see
this was
some snow,
perfect.
maybe.
Yeah,
You gonna see snow, do you think?
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
been snowing off and on for sure.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have any kids?
No kids.
No
No.
kids? No?
We've been traveling with his work for, oh my gosh, for years now. So that's kind
Mm.
of been our life. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be tough to travel with the kids if you did have them too.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
do a lot of traveling for sure.
Yeah, yeah. But that's kind of cool though. You get to
Yeah.
see the world that way.
I have seen a lot of it. It's been pretty cool.
That's cool. Yeah. I saw there's a new Billy Bob Thornton series about oil, and it looked really interesting.
Landman. Yeah.
Yeah, Landman. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious to see that.
That's it. Yeah. Well, that's part of our life. Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah, but not as maybe as high drama.
Well, no, there's no cartels, but we haven't had that happen. But yeah, it was very familiar. That show was definitely familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like an interesting show.
Yeah.
And I like Billy Bob Thornton. He's awesome.
Yeah. I've enjoyed it so far. So my husband picks it apart a little bit, but he
He's living it. Yeah, that's true.
so but he really likes it too. So it's been fun.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome. Very cool. Now I was curious, I know, you're relatively new as a pro, but you've been competing for a little while, but do you ever deal with like overbearing fans? And I think you might, like I said, you might be hearing from more of them now that you got pro card, but how's it going with the fans?
Well, some interesting DMs, but we talked about how to handle that. So yeah, I feel like it's just starting. So yeah, a little bit. It's been interesting to see.
You got to use the Jedi mind trick, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it.
Oh man. No, that's cool. Yeah. Well, I hope the fans won't be too bad with you because they can be kind of, just weird and
yeah.
Be kind of aggressive and weird.
Don't be weird, man. That's all I ask.
Yeah. I think that's reasonable.
No, I appreciate everybody. I mean, there's been such positivity and so many people reaching out and new people, and it's been really cool. So it's been all love and a little bit of weird, but that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's just part of the territory.
Yeah, it's part of
bodybuilding,
right?
Yeah. Oh man. I was curious, what do you think is the most misunderstood aspect of bodybuilding by the general public? Because I think there's a lot of myths about bodybuilding that are perpetuated by people looking from the outside. But
oh my gosh, sorry.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Okay, we're back.
Okay.
Dogs. So what do I think? I think there's a lot, to be honest. But I think the vanity part, the part where we just get on stage in a bikini and we're just there to show off, and it's like that's all it is, right? It's just like, oh, you have a nice body, and that's it. I think by some of the general public. But for me, I mean, I don't know. What do you think? I mean, really.
Well, I do think that there's a lot of people think it's just take steroids or take drugs, and then that's all you have to do, and there's not the recognition that there's all this hard work that goes into it too, and
right.
And there's a mental aspect too. I mean, you have to be really strong mentally, I think, to pull off, looking like a superhero on stage,
Right. Yeah. I think the whole, the steroid, the use of it, or what, how it's used, or what, all those, the details in that. Yeah, there's a lot of assumptions. I'm sure they just have a lot of judgment or assumptions and write people off like, that's, they're doing this or they're doing that. And yeah,
Hmm.
I think there's so much, we know there's so much more
Hmm.
to that. But yeah, I think that those are pretty misinformed people, or they don't take the time.
Yeah, and I just well, that's kind of leads to my next question is um in terms of getting, well, actually I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Like I don't know if you remember back in the day when bodybuilding was on TV. It was on ESPN and NBC,
No.
and this was back in the 80s and 90s. But I think it really exposed more people to bodybuilding and inspired people to get started in it. And now, even though with like more outlets, with social media and live streams and websites and everything, it's almost become like more niche. Be, um, and it's harder to find it, I think, if if you're not looking for it. But I almost wonder, like, how do you think we could get it back on TV again? I would love to see that again.
Oh gosh, back on TV. I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's going to be obsolete. I feel like
Yeah.
streaming services are just going to take over everything. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean. Getting more exposure to it. Um, I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I think, maybe what they announced today with the new division, I think they're trying to take steps into maybe making it more accessible,
Mhm. Yeah. I think.
for people to maybe achievable, or, something they want to look like, that type of thing. Yeah. And I mean, as far as women's physique and bodybuilding, I'm always curious about, I'm always hopeful that it'll grow. And I was so excited with, Andrea Shaw being the ambassador she is, and the champion she is, you know,
Yeah.
propelling that. And she just brings such a beauty to women's bodybuilding. And I think
Yeah.
if you have superstars like that, who break through into women's physique and bodybuilding, who carry themselves like that, I think that's appealing to a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I just, back in the day, Corey Everson had her own show on ESPN called Body Shaping, and
Mm,
I'd like to see like that. I think just that'd be neat to have Andrea or Sarah or somebody do a show like that, and just,
yeah,
yeah, expose more people to the sport, and
yeah, I think
inspire
it would be
people.
great. I
Yeah.
mean,
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. That's a good
Hmm.
question. I think we're all trying to figure that out, huh?
Hmm. Yeah. No, I think there's potential there, but I don't know.
There
I
is
think it's the
potential. I just
sponsors.
wish we could
Mm.
break through, get at the general public a little more, and break through the myths, or the questions, or just, find what is more appealing, to them. And I do feel like certain people, maybe up and coming, can break through and, you know shine a light on, certain sides of bodybuilding, or, that people are like, oh, I, want to look like her, or, do this or that. And there already is, but, if they're just more all the time, I think it'll help.
I agree. Yeah, I think you're right. I would love to see like Netflix, do like a reality series like for
Mm-hmm.
mamas about, moms that are bodybuilders, and
Yeah, why
follow
can't
their
we need
lives.
like a Bravo, reality, what, housewives, bodybuilder.
Uh-huh. The Real
Yeah,
Russell Ladies of Orange County or
there
something.
you go.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean, I watch the other stuff. I'd watch it. Yeah,
I think it'd be cool. I'd love to see something like that, and that
that's a
would be
great
good
idea.
exposure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We should talk to the Bravo producers. We'll
Uh-huh.
get at them.
Yeah, I would watch it. It would be a good show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, and I was just curious, like in terms of getting fans to show up to bodybuilding shows, I'm always a little disappointed by the low turnouts for especially pro female bodybuilding. What do you think? How can we get more butts in the seats, do you think, and get more fans to show up?
Yeah, like we just talked, like, new divisions, maybe more marketing, certain people, those people that really are appealing to the average bodybuilding fan, as far as, yeah, I know it is empty sometimes, which is disappointing, but,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's something we need to work on and really brainstorm because we need it.
Yeah, I just think it would be better, not for the athletes, it'd be better too, because you'd have more people cheering for you and
Right.
and
Yeah. I mean, yeah, sometimes it's like even at nationals, it's a little bare in spots, you know what I mean? But
it's
it's
like crickets in there. It's like, what the hell, man? Like you
yeah.
gotta cheer for your favorite up there,
Yeah, some people need to be, yeah, they used to be louder too. I feel like people used to be louder. I don't know.
Mhm.
Maybe that was just me, but yeah, people aren't as crazy as they used to be. They're all more reserved. I don't know what's going on.
I've heard in Europe the shows are the people are a little more animated and that they're
They
kind of
are.
food
Um,
intolerant.
in Africa, loud,
Really?
loud. Oh, it's so loud, so fun. They cheer. I mean, it's no holding back. That was exciting. That see,
Oh,
you go to stuff like that and you're like, yeah, that's how it should be when you're on stage.
yeah, I agree. No, I know. I don't understand why it's that way in the US, and it's a little
Yeah, we're
disappointing.
we're more reserved, I guess. So
Yeah, but people are kind of screwing around on their phones too. They're not even necessarily watching the show.
yeah, maybe
Um,
that's it. There's just like a
yeah,
disconnect, you know what I mean? It's
yeah, yeah.
just, yeah, people, and what are we gonna do about that? I don't know.
Take away their phones.
Check your
Okay.
phones at the door. Oh,
Yeah, give it
no.
back at the
Then we'd really have nobody in the seat.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't go over so
Mm-mm.
well. No.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again for your time. I was just wondering if there's anything that I missed that you'd like to address or anybody you'd like to shout out.
Well, I'd love to shout out my coach, J Martinez. With what we did this last weekend is just surpassed. It's mind blowing to me. He called it too. And just for him believing in me and, taking me to that next level, like I couldn't ask for anything more. Great coach. He had our team had 6 competitors at nationals, 5 division winners, four,
Wow.
yeah, wait, 5 pro cards, 4 division wins. So yeah,
Wow.
we did really,
Congratulations.
yeah,
Wow.
we did really well. So yeah, it was a great weekend for Cobra and we're doing good. So I just wanted to shout out my teammates. They did so good and really proud.
That's terrific. That's really good. That's really impressive, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's great. Were they all Texas folks?
No, no, that I mean, one was Dallas. Yeah. Actually, yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
One of them was not, but yeah, I think we're all pretty much in the same Texas area. So yeah.
Nice. That's great. That's
Yeah.
very good. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have any sponsors, or I mean, or would you like to pick up sponsors eventually?
Yeah, I would love to. No sponsors right now, but yeah, I am open to a clothing or a brand that I like. Yeah, definitely. So hopefully that comes in the future.
That'd be nice to get a suit sponsor. I know the suits are
The
really expensive.
suits, yeah, I was just gonna say a suit sponsor would be excellent. Yes.
Yeah. I know there's some good ones out there that sponsor athletes and you know, give you a suit at least to have temporarily, and so you
Sure.
don't have to pay for it, and then just promote it on social media or promote that company and stuff. So
Yeah, I mean they're so expensive, so that would be great.
yeah, very cool. Well, thank you so much, Natalie, for your time. I really appreciate it, and it's really nice to meet you. And best wishes in 2025.
You too. Thanks. Nice to meet you, David.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I'll try to get this posted probably tomorrow morning. So I'll tag you as soon as I get it posted and stuff. So,
Perfect. It was great talking to you.
thank you. Thanks again. I appreciate it.
You
And
bet.
best wishes to you.
You too. See ya.